Hello and welcome yet again, fair intrepid viewer, to the Archivist's review of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Equestria Girls. Now, at the time this video is being made, all the other bronies are out making their videos and doing all the technical wizardry of their computers. I, on the other hand, have basic, standard, crappy movie maker. So, utilizing all the power of standard movie maker technology, I will probably only able to do one simple trick. Because, like we all know, standard movie maker technology is just a one-trick pony. So, I'm sorry if I can't do any, really cool effects or composites or anything like that. So, but you're not here for the technical wizardry, you're here for the review. So, let's get started. And I am going to do this for my gimmick for this review as a pony. Let's see here. I have an app for this here somewhere. Searching. Here we go. There we go. Well, now that I'm a pony, let's get down to business, shall we? This isn't spoiler specific, just so anyone would know. This is more of story and plot point specific. So I won't go into too many details, it's more about the story as a whole, rather than anything else. Now, I will be breaking this down into a few categories. 1, the plot. 2, the characters. 3, the songs. So let's talk about the movie. 1, the plot. The movie opens up with a remix of the orchestral version, just the melody part of My Little Pony. I don't remember if there were any words in it. I think it was just basically just the beat and all that, with the remix stuff. Like if the opening was done by Vinyl Scratch, pretty much. So the events of the movie start out taking place immediately following the season 3 finale, where now Princess Twilight Sparkle is contemplating what being a princess is really about, and she brings up a very good point. So far, she has been an isolated pony, has been leader of a group in a time of crisis. So now being charged with a greater responsibility, she doesn't know if she can handle ruling an entire, not just city, but a kingdom or a nation, So these are very valid questions that the character, Twilight Sparkle, asks herself. Is she capable of doing that? And what are the qualities to really be able to lead an entire people, pretty much? An independent little part of the world. And the bigger question that is not brought up is, which part is it that she's going to be responsible for? I mean, Ponyville already has a mayor, Equestria already has Celestia in it, and Crystal Empire already has Princess Cadence. So what part is she going to be responsible for? So, that night, a thief sneaks into Twilight's room and steals her crown. An epic chase starts, and Twilight and the thief break into a room where the crown gets thrown into a magic mirror, which is a portal to the more human world. The thief then disappears into the room. Twilight then follows the thief to the new world. There she finds a high school full of humanoid versions of people she's met in Ponyville and even her close friends. So there's a lot of fish out of the water feeling in the first part of the movie. Well, pretty much throughout the entire movie. And basically how the plot and the story goes, or how it feels, is that this is like a sort of a reverse repeat of the first episode, where Twilight is a fish out of water. She is in a strange land, but instead of being an isolated pony like she was in the original premiere, the original first episode, she's trying to become friends with these other versions of her friends. So being their friend is, or becoming their friend, is not necessarily that hard. She knows all about them, so friendship kind of just forms really easily. And so the plot kind of follows Twilight going around the school, learning about the more human world, trying to find her crown, which then she finds was found and put up for a presentation to the fall-winter princess. And so Twilight decides to go in for the running for the princess, and is up against Sunset Shimmer. Now, there's no real hiding it. Sunset Shimmer is the thief. You know, the color scheme, the hair, it's kind of obvious. So just like, no real spoiler, it's her, really. Oh, and wouldn't it have made more sense for Trixie 2.0, aka Sunset Shimmer, to just, out Twilight as, not being a student there, showing that she doesn't have any transfer papers or file at all, so she's not a student, so she can't be voted for princess? I mean, wouldn't that just seem logical and a lot easier than anything else she does to foil Twilight's plans of winning the crown? Just a thought, just putting it out there. So the story for another good part of the movie is following Twilight and her new friends, and them trying to get the dance going. So at the end of the story, Sunset Shimmer gets the crown, becomes incredibly evil looking, like something out of Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Z, or GT, or whatever that new one is that's coming out. And then Twilight and company eventually defeat Sunset Shimmer, a la the same thing how they managed to defeat Nightmare Moon in the original two-parter episode. And then there's suddenly the story sort of just stops and like becomes like an episode of Sailor Moon, where it's like there's a transformation sequence, and it's like it kind of just stops the movie, the story, the pace just stops, and it's like, oh, transformation sequence, and it's like, don't you guys have like a bad guy to beat? Can we just move this along? Originally, I liked the Sailor Moon transformation sequences, but the logic does state that, well, yeah, they kind of take too long, but this is supposed to be like instantaneous, in the timeline. But it's like, oh, honestly, do we really need to have a slow motion transformation sequence in the movie? Anyway, so they defeat her. She is not destroyed, but reformed. Same as Luna. Twilight then says goodbye to everyone, and then leaves. Goes back to Canterlot, meets up with her friends, and says that she has managed to understand what it means to be a leader of a mass crowd, of how to inspire others, and how to get them to stand beside her, for a common cause. Which we see, but when she was in the high school, and how she was being taught how certain things work, when they introduced the different high school groupings, the geeks, the jocks, the metalheads, the hippies, the hipsters, Twilight doesn't understand them to get them to bring under a common goal. They were brought together because of the cleaning montage song to help get the dance going, to get it done for the night. And that's when everyone wanted to pitch in and help out to get the dance going. So that's really all what Twilight learned, was the kindness of people will bring people together, and you can inspire them by trying to do something. But she never really understood them and who they are to help bring them together under a common goal. Just wanted to point that out. Okay, 2. The characters. Alright, now there's a plethora of cameos in this. I mean, besides the main six, it's like everybody else is in this who is in human form. I mean, everyone, even the little side characters. The Seamen C are there for a brief scene. Vinyl Scratch is there. The great and powerful Trixie, she shows up for a couple of scenes. Celestia, Luna, I don't think I saw a Discord character in there, but I might be mistaken. There's a lot of characters, so you can have fun playing Where's Waldo with the background characters. I still had no idea who the librarian was, though. I didn't quite recognize her. At first I thought maybe she might be Cadence, but she seemed a little too agitated to be Cadence. So I'm going to have to go back and find out if anyone knows who that character is. Everyone who is in the other world is in character. They just look different. No one acts out of character or anything. The other 5 are in character. So everyone's in character. There's no gripes or anything about that. The only slightly character gripe I have is that at the end of the season 3 finale, the last shot we see Twilight fly towards the camera as perfect and graceful as Rainbow Dash. Then in the opening of the movie, we see that she can't even hover properly. And then when she goes to bed before the thief comes, her wings keep popping up underneath the covers and she can't fold them down to get comfortable to go to sleep. So it's kind of weird, miscontinuity there. She can fly, and then suddenly she can't even hover. It's just too weird. So that's a little distracting, but that's like that's the only character, close to a character thing I can have a real gripe with. We legitimately feel that Twilight has learned the lesson of how to bring characters together. So her trolling, or whatever they call it, whatever the lingo is, her panic attacks are kind of, her question has been answered. She now knows what to do, and it's believable. I left the theater thinking, yeah, the character arc is complete. The story arc, pretty complete, but it does have holes. At the end, when Sunset Shimmer is defeated and Twilight leaves, there's still a mess to be cleaned up from all the fighting, and everyone still has their memories, and Twilight, there was a reference that Twilight does have a double in that other world. So when that double comes to that high school, how is everyone supposed to keep this a secret? Supposed to say, oh, she's here, this person we're not supposed to know. Right. How's everyone going to act like that? And how's everyone going to keep this a secret? Especially in this digital age of information, and the fact that the high school was destroyed. You can't keep this a secret that something has happened at that school at that time. So I'm curious to see how they're going to, clarify that if they ever do make a TV follow-up. Oh, and everyone was like panicking over the thought that there might be a boyfriend introduced. Okay, let me tell you, yes, there is a boyfriend. Well, the beginnings of a boyfriend, anyway.
Oh, and I wanted to do a callback to my last video, and I just wanted to say, I so called it. Yeah, go archivist. It's your birthday. Alright.
He's introduced. He's a likable character. He has, not traits, but not passions. He has hobbies. We see him be an average teen. He's a guitarist, and he seems to also like Twilight as well. He even asks her out to dance. And everything about that encounter with, a guy, nothing's shoehorned in, nothing's forced, there's no real, awkward joke shoehorned in. Everything feels natural and likable. I honestly want to see where this relationship goes in the storyline, both in the original Pony universe and the humanoid verse as well. 3. The song, or soundtrack. Okay, like I said in my last review, there was I was informed that the trailer song was not going to be in the movie. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't! But it's not to say that the soundtrack wasn't bad or anything. The Helping Twilight Win the Crown song was probably the highlight of the songs for the movie. All the other songs were kind of like okay to forgettable. That's about it. If I had a rating system, I honestly would deduct a point for not having that trailer song in the movie. So that's all I can really say about that. So overall, even though I do have gripes about certain aspects of the movie, I honestly did enjoy it. And when it comes out on DVD, I am going to go out and get it. And well, that's my review of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Equestria Girls. Alright, now let me change back here. I almost got it. Okay, well, it seems I don't know how to use this hoof to pick up things. Probably should have tried that in hindsight, but oh well. Well, I guess I'm going to be stuck in this form for a little while. So until then, take care and see you all in Season 4 premiere. Laters.
Oh, and don't forget to stay until after the credits. Oh, at the end of the credits, there's a little Easter egg, just in case you were shy one pony, humanoid. The hint? It's holding a muffin.